It was harder to find than a good babysitting report for Chris Benoit, but Shawn Michaels finally, after about 6 years, found his smile, because he lost it in the mid-90s. We can talk about what he did. His back got done in 98. It's been a good old half a decade at least since Shawn found his smile, and he sure is smiling after Survivor Series 2002, because he put on an instant classic, and we are here with the 18th of November 2002 edition of Raw. It's Big Nose free, it's Triple H free, it's feeling fresh, it's feeling Christian. Shawn Michaels. And how good was it? Just seeing a new guy with a belt. I'm not saying it was the greatest Raw. I'm saying it felt fresh.
Yeah, it felt fresh. Shawn Michaels, fresh haircut, fresh champion, fresh promo. No Triple H boring the tits ass off his sorry for 20 minutes. It was good to me.
It was absolutely good, but Ric Flair. We thought we got rid of one guy that's dragging the life out of us, and we get some guy that should have been dead a long time ago. The Nature Boy. That's a wee bit harsh on Rick, but you know what? I actually think this is his best promo since he came back.
Yeah, we're expecting Steiner. The limo pulls up. Eric Bischoff's excited, and it's weird because when Flair pops out, his excitement's just gone.
He's
like he treated Flair like he was a fucking Sunday Night Heat jobber.
Like he was a stray dog on the side of the road.
Now, Bischoff is not really happy to see Flair. Flair's not happy to be here. Flair's not happy with Eric Bischoff's treatment of Triple H. He says that Triple H is in the hospital. He just checked himself out. Bischoff said he doesn't care about Triple H or Flair. He only cares about making Raw good, and he books Flair in a match with Kane. Flair says he doesn't sweat Kane, and he also said multiple times tonight, he repeated it, that Kane wouldn't dare touch him because he knows Triple H will whoop his ass when he comes back. I mean, what kind of fucking promo is this for Ric Flair?
If this was pre-Katie Fick, he could have said, Kane won't dare touch me, or else me and Trips...
I'll spill the beans, or reveal his secrets. We'll tell the truth, or something like that.
If Kane wouldn't kill Triple H over, Katie Fick, realistically, what's he going to do to Flair now? It's done and dusted. What's Triple H going to do to Kane that's worse than, accusing him of murder? And, sexual assault and all that shit? I mean, come on.
Sure, Triple H is just at the hospital. He's not really in any condition to do anything either. Anyway,
he probably sounds like Kane in 98.
I need a sledgehammer.
My trachea is crushed. Out comes the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, the new world champion. Right, I don't like... What's he going for? Is this like a rib on Ric Flair? Is this a rib on anyone? Or is this just him emphasising the fact that he's new and Triple H is old and he was boring us? Because I don't get it.
Could be that. Michaels comes out though and he cuts a promo. He says that he doesn't want to be a mere shell of the shell that he used to be. He doesn't want to be one of those guys that hangs around too long. Is this dig at the Nature Boy? Could it be?
It could be. Could absolutely be. I mean, who else is on Raw and absolutely decrepit?
Michaels says that his body can't keep up with the schedule anymore. His smile can't hold on to the hectorous schedule that WWE has, and he says the sensible thing to do would be what Austin done. Take my ball and go home.
Take it, go home, buddy. But he's not going to do that. He says, I would normally do the sensible situation.
But I'm not a sensible kind of guy.
Nah, I'm not that guy.
And he wants to find out how much this old body has got left in it. And Michaels says that the world title will stay with him. Those words will come back to haunt him.
Armageddon. Yeah, but I mean, imagine he just put the belt down and walked off.
Yeah, but we don't get that. What we do get is one of a kind. RVD comes out and he talks about how he enjoyed watching the Heartbreak Kid as a kid for years, and it's like, come on, RVD, you can't be that much younger than Michaels.
He's probably,
5 years?
Something in the ballpark. I mean, Van Damme was wrestling early 90s. Michaels was wrestling late 80s. So
yeah, there's not much in it.
No.
I think Van Damme's first match was in 90 or 91, I want to say.
Michaels was wrestling like 87.
Yeah, so I get what RVD is trying to say here, but it just didn't really make a lot of sense to me.
No, it doesn't make sense. He was first eliminated and he's out here for the first title shot.
Yeah, RVD.
He got eliminated by a wee drop kick, mate.
Although you could argue RVD was the one that took out Triple H, so...
Oh, he crushed his throat, he did.
RVD says that if he couldn't win the world title last night, he was glad that it was Shawn Michaels. And RVD suggests, why don't we have HBK, the Heartbreak Kid, go one-on-one with RVD the whole effing show? Are we going to get that? Michaels seems content. Michaels is about to do it. But then Eric Bischoff comes out, and Bischoff says that before Michaels goes and loses his smile again, he should realise who runs this show. Bischoff says it's not Shawn Michaels. It's me. It's Eric Bischoff. And that RVD will need to earn his title shot at against Shawn Michaels. Michaels then says that he told Bischoff once that there's a new sheriff in town, and that sheriff is the world heavyweight champion. Bischoff then books RVD versus Booker T and Chris Jericho tonight. Winner gets the shot at Shawn Michaels. But Michaels says he will not represent a show with necrophilia because it offends him as a wrestling fan. But Bischoff asked him, does it offend you as a Christian? And I like this. Bischoff taking wee digs here, and Shawn Michaels taking digs about the whole Katie Fix thing, and Bischoff taking digs about losing your smile and offended because you're a Christian. I mean, some personal jabs here. Maybe Michaels and Bischoff don't really like each other. You could kind of
see. This is perfect because it's not like calling out the wrestling business for being fake. It's literally using real life things that are actually a part of the character.
Yeah, and then Michaels basically tells them both to piss off just so he can have the camera for 10 seconds, and then asks Triple H, how does it feel to be watching him from a hospital bed? Now it's the other way about. Shawn Michaels is the one with the championship, and Triple H is the one at home, banged up, broken down. Very good promo. I enjoyed this a lot.
Great way to kick off the show. Seeing Shawn cut a promo, like kick off with a belt first time in like what since '98.
I would go as far as saying Eric Bischoff's the best GM of all time.
Yeah, this was brilliant.
If you're counting GMs, he's 100% the best of all time. If you're factoring in like commissioners and stuff, then I don't know.
Yeah,
but I think if you're doing it solely based on GMs,
yeah, he is.
It has to be him.
He smokes it. He absolutely smokes it. We then see the Dudleys backstage, and Devon appears. They are wild pop. So Devon is drafted to Raw.
It was weird. We got Spike Dudley, who came out first, and no pop, no nothing.
Bubba got half a pop.
And the music started playing when Bubba came out, and then Devon came out, and the music ramped up, and the crowd were going, yeah! But Spike didn't get the music. Spike got the...
SmackDown got Big Show, Raw got Devon. I know who won that.
It's a win for fucking Raw, isn't it?
It's a win for Raw.
I wonder if that's all that Raw got, though. Because in wrestling terms, it doesn't exactly look fair, does it?
It doesn't, but...
The fact that SmackDown got a world champion.
Aye, but
even though we know he's a 7-foot pile of shite, but 500-pound pile of shite there, but...
The Dudleys win this match, though, against 3-Minute Warning and Rico. I think 3-Minute Warning and Rico are...
Done.
Yeah.
Finished.
I don't really remember them much in 2003.
They haven't even got the good theme song yet.
Yeah, and they're already losing matches.
And they're beat. Stacy Keibler's on the phone backstage talking to a testicle about t-shirt manufacturing. I think Test isn't here. She's on a second phone talking to him. She says that she has 2 samples of testicle t-shirts and she's going to let the fans decide. We then get Eric Bischoff talking about Scott Steiner. A guy enters Bischoff's office and says he has a rumour that Triple H is on his way to the arena. Bischoff says Triple H is probably coming to try and get in the triple threat match tonight. So Bischoff goes out to the parking lot to meet Triple H. But when he opens the door, it's better than Triple H. It's Big Papa Pump. Scott Steiner's here. Bischoff's marking it like it's old WCW. He says that Steiner is his guest and he can have anything he wants as long as he signs with Monday Night Raw.
Obviously, I want a title shot.
Fatal 4-way, buddy.
I think Steiner Michaels would have been a good match.
Fuck me. Michaels would have got a good match at Steiner.
I think he would have.
Better match than Triple H did, that's for sure.
Imagine the Steiner recliner on Big Shawn. On that broken back. Fantastic. Right, then we have got Stacy Keibler wearing a headset microphone. It was I liked this segment, but it was weird hearing someone like batter someone in the ring wearing a mic. Wasn't it? Well, I know that's at the end of the segment, but one of the few examples that has happened. But she has one of those special guns as well, but she uses that a bit later on. She's showing off t-shirts, the testicle t-shirts. First off, we've got I'm a testicle, rub me the right way. Not much of a pop for that. I'm a testicle, take me for a test ride. That probably got the least pop, but I love my testicle shirt got the biggest, I would say.
No, I think the biggest one was the first one.
Was it? No, I think the last one was the biggest one.
The second one didn't really get much for pop.
It was
King
dead.
didn't
It was
really like that.
No, it was like, ooh.
I think it's
It was
'cause-
Gary Neville, ooh.
I think it's because it had Test Ride in it, and therefore they were thinking of Test and not Stacy.
Yeah. No, I was absolutely...
Whereas with the first one, King's probably envisioning Stacy. But in the second one, he's probably thinking, I don't really want a
He's
Test Ride.
thinking of, what's his name? What's his real life name?
Andrew Martin.
Andrew Martin, aye. Big Andy Martin. But then Stacey gets out a test your cannon and starts firing t-shirts into the
I tell you
crowd.
what, there was almost a fight in the crowd. Some guy really wanted this shirt and
Yeah.
he viciously pulled it away from the like, dude. Stevie Richards then come out and he says, like, this is enough. Says that she set him up last week. Backstage, he then claims that Test is in India this week. I don't know if that's true or not, but apparently he is.
JR confirmed
And
that.
Richards says this means that Stacey is all alone. He says he's coming to get revenge, but then Stacey fires a t-shirt into Stevie Richards' testicles. Stevie is in pain. Victoria then runs in though and beats Stacy Keibler up. She puts an arm breaker on Stacey, then starts biting her fingernails off. Weird shit here. Victoria says the people didn't come here to see Stacey, they came here to see her, the new women's champion. And then she helped up fucking Stevie Richards and two crazy people walked to the back. So
this is the beginning of this friendship, so to speak. I mean, they team together in TNA, don't they, as well? Do they?
I don't know. I don't think so. Backstage, Stacey's not happy. She complains about Bischoff, but good news. Bischoff says, don't worry, tonight you're going to have a chance for revenge. You're taking on Victoria. And we've seen this now in recent weeks where Bischoff first with Terry Runnels, now with Stacy Keibler. He's given people a match against Victoria, but they don't want a match against Victoria. Up next, tag team match, Lance Storm and William Regal versus Jeff Hardy and Tommy Dreamer. Very weird. Jeff Hardy never got in the match. It was basically a 2-on-1 match. Jeff Hardy was just always on the outside. Anytime he tried to get in the ring, it was just fucking weird. I don't know if he was drugged at his tits or something. Nah, I wouldn't even said it there, but I don't know what was wrong with him.
It was due to injuries suffered last night in the tables match.
Then why have him out there?
Yeah, this match didn't need to happen.
If he's that injured, then he wouldn't need to be on the card. You tell me they couldn't possibly do Monday Night Raw without this tag team match.
Of course they could. I mean, you could just add it a bit extra time to another match, or add another segment in there, or something.
Or just have Dreamer take on one of them as singles, or...
Yeah, I mean, honestly, but up next...
And it's weird because Dreamers went from being a guy that was on a bit of a roll to a guy that's
can't catch a break.
Can't catch a break.
Can't catch a dub.
But up next, it was Scott Steiner, Chris Jericho, two guys that are great at promos.
Everybody knows what's to know. You don't know me, you don't know what I'm capable of. He rhymes off a bunch of, crazy shit. It's like, freaks and peaks, I'm the man, I'm Scott. It's fucking brilliant. It's mumbo jumbo, but it's great.
He's saying, it's like, the guy says absolutely nothing, but rhymes off every fucking thing. He says everything without saying anything.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy's so bad at promos, but he's great at them at the same time. It's
when I'd watch
weird.
Raw at home, it would make me want to puke. And I'd turn on SmackDown and see people talk about being the greatest of all time. But I'm the greatest of all time. I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to prove that nobody can compare to the genetic freak. And there's like fucking pecs and arms are about to explode.
Explode in here. It's like a T-Virus in Resident Evil, just ready to mutate.
William Birkin.
Jericho comes out. Y2J said he doesn't have a clue what Scott Steiner's talking about, neither does anybody else. Y2J says he's a larger-than-life king of the world and a huge rock star. Jericho says he's going to win the triple threat match tonight and go on to beat the Has-Been Kid next week. And Jericho says he doesn't have time for a guy who dresses like King Arthur there, so we diss here to Scott Steiner. Scott, though, suggests that Y2J come down to the ring so he can beat his medieval ass. Y2J says he has to prepare for the triple threat match tonight, and he does his little dance thingy on the stage. Says to Scott Steiner, "Can you do this? Can you do this?" And Scott Steiner's just looking at him with the face. How weird would it be if Scott Steiner actually did break it into a dance with his
Steiner
legs?
do better with his fucking arms doing this and his legs.
And Scott Steiner says he will stick around to see if Y2J is any good. Scott Steiner here making out as if he doesn't know who these people are. What the fuck?
I know, it's funny.
It's like, these guys have been wrestling, let's be real, since Scott Steiner was like last seen. I mean, the likes of Jericho and stuff have been the Raw roster's been wrestling in the only company really that matters now in wrestling for the past year, getting millions of viewers every single week. If anybody needs a rub, it should be Scott Steiner. Like, if anybody doesn't know who somebody is, it's going to be Scott Steiner.
Yeah.
I mean, the people in the arena are more likely to know who Jericho is than Steiner is.
No, absolutely.
But Steiner's making it as if he's the fucking man and everybody else on Raw is just nobodies.
I'll see if you're any good, Austin Hogan.
When is he going to say that about Shawn Michaels? Who's this HBK kid? We'll see if he's any good.
We'll see if he's any good.
Fuck off, Scott. Try standing up.
What's he all about and what's he capable of, man?
What are you capable of? Right, up next, got Victoria versus Stacy Keibler. I mean, it was alright considering Stacy Keibler isn't a wrestler. She got a little bit of offense in. Victoria debuted at her new finisher, which is the Widow Peak, and it was arguably one of the best she's ever hit, to be honest. Damn near looks like she killed Stacy Keibler, but I think Stacy Keibler being like flexible and having a long body as well, I think that helped.
I actually think people who can't work can sometimes make finishers look better.
Yeah.
And their inability to protect themselves, maybe.
Plus, I think her size as well helps. I mean, it did look fucking deadly.
Like, I think, no, when you see, like, I mean, I'm not saying, like, John Cena's dad sold the punt like a god, but I think people like that can sell. Like, I think Mae Young can sell because she's that decrepit.
Because they're doing the moves for real.
Aye.
It's almost like they're just selling for real. Stacy did kick out of a snap suplex, which beat Trish Stratus at Survivor Series. I thought that was weird, but whatever. Trish came down, attacked Victoria. Then Stevie Richards came down with his swollen testicles, and he gave Trish a modified execution, big time DDT by Stevie Richards. Pretty good maneuver. Trish sold it well. Whenever a guy used to hit a move on a woman back in the day, it did look. It looked violent, didn't it? Like, I mean,
it did. No, this was a good DDT.
I think it's the size, and it's the fact that like Steve, when they're doing when Steven Richards is doing a move on Trish, he can literally ragdoll her.
Yeah, no, he can, and he did.
And the height he got on it, it's literally like they're throwing around a doll. Up next, School of Hard Knocks match: Christopher Nowinski versus Al Snow. Didn't do it for me. Although I tell you what, the moonsault for Al Snow into the chairs was fucking phenomenal, and it ended the match.
We'll see if a match ain't going to deliver, at least a spot can.
And what I liked is Nowinski just got the pin straight from the miss. So Al Snow had 6 chairs set up in the ring, standing up, and he went for the moonsault. Nowinski moved it the way. Al crashed through the chairs, and Nowinski just went straight for the cover. Didn't go for a move, just went straight for the cover. And I think you can get away with that.
Yeah.
Like when someone crashes and burns, I think you should get more wins from that.
I agree.
In AEW, this would have just been a transitional move.
This would have been his entrance to the ring.
But,
AEW.
But when you're a mid-card guy, then this move should be finishing the match, so...
That should be.
Fair play.
Val Venus returns with...
Don't call him that!
Don't call him that. My name's not Val. He wants to... What's he go by? Sean Morley? What a shite gimmick. Actually, I don't mind the gimmick, but the name just doesn't really work. But yeah, Bischoff is finalising the paperwork. Up next, Ric Flair versus Kane. But he comes out in his street clothes. He's like, I respect you, Kane, but if you put a hand on me, Triple H is gonna know about it. He's gonna hurt you.
I don't get what Ric Flair's going for here. It's weird as shit. But before Kane can do anything, Batista comes out, attacks Kane, and hits a Batista bomb on Kane. Very good Batista bomb. Fair play to Batista for getting a guy Kane's size up for that move, and he didn't look like he struggled. And I think when you can pull off a move on a bigger guy like this, it's a lot more impactful.
Yeah.
Because it is someone who's big. So, I
mean,
mean,
you just look at Batista. There's a star there.
Yeah, there is. Come on.
The velocity alone. We've got Jericho and Christian backstage. Jericho's apologising to him for hitting him last week with a chair. Christian's not really accepted it though. He's like, nah, I'm not going to help you out there. Fuck you, buddy. You should have thought about that last week.
Christian's still a bit bitter. He never got in the chamber.
He is. Don't blame him. The amount of injuries in the chamber, he should have come down mid-match.
The 7th entry. In the ring, then we got Booker T. Booker T got on the microphone and it just didn't really do it for me.
No, I will cut him some slack because I think he was literally just sent out there to get the break over with before the match.
Yeah, he was bitching about how all day he'd heard about everyone talking about Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Rob Van Dam and Jericho. I mean, if we're being honest, I think it would be fair to say Booker T probably had the worst performance in the chamber.
Yep. Might got an elimination, but...
So, yeah, I mean, whatever.
But then he's like, no one mentioned the 5-time, but you just lost the match. Like, what? See
yeah.
this 5-time champ pish, it needs to get wrapped up, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, you were second eliminated, Booker. Why? What do you want people to say?
See,
do you want people to kiss your arse all day?
And he's also a 6-time world champ, but they just seem to take away one. See, when he comes in for WCW, right, the first couple of months, and he whips out the 5-time part, I get that, because...
He's putting himself over. Is
like, I'm a 5-time champ. I am not here to be underestimated, but you've been here, like, what, 20-odd months?
And you haven't won the belt?
Yeah, so, I mean, what's it going to be, Book? Can you dig that, sucker?
What I can dig, though, is an amazing main event. One of the best main events that we've seen, I mean, in a long, long time. Obviously, you had TLC 4, which was fantastic, but outside of that, it's been a long time since we had a match that was this good on Monday Night Raw. Probably outside of the TLC match, you're going back to, what, maybe Undertaker RVD?
Taker Jeff, that was good as well.
Taker Jeff, yeah, but you're going back a long time. That is my point. And this was a really, really, really good match. Although, again, I do think Booker T messed up the ending a bit.
Yeah, no, I think Booker T did mess up the ending a bit, and it was just a weird spot where the move gets done to Jericho for Scott Steiner, and then he hits the frog spot, and Booker T's like, with his back so noticeably to the action. And then, like, once he hears the one... I don't know. It was, like, poor acting for Booker T. I think he's dropping the ball, Booker T, recently.
Scott Steiner delivers a brutal powerbomb to Jericho. Then he starts doing the push-ups, yelling in Jericho's ears. RVD was taken out. RVD had a brutal spot done to him on the outside. He was down and out. Booker T gets up before RVD, and he kind of, like, just hangs on to the apron. And he watches RVD climb up and hit the frog splash and get the pin. And the whole time Booker T was just watching on. I mean, you wouldn't get this for Shawn Michaels. I mean, Booker T really should have been recovering and trying to get in the ring just while RVD was going for the cover. But Booker T was basically, for the entire thing, watched RVD get up, hit the frog splash, and get the 1-2-3. There was more than enough time for Booker T to break up the pin and get involved, but he didn't.
No, he didn't. Rob Van Dam, though, picks up the victory. He will take on Shawn Michaels next week. Michaels comes down to the ring.
Still smelling.
Yep, and we get a good old-fashioned face-off like this. Felt unique rather than Triple H running from, like, his next opponent, which he always did. And that's how Raw goes off there. I just want to touch on Steiner. I think the reason why Steiner didn't work in this era is because, one, he couldn't really work, right? That's obviously a big factor. But two, I think the fact that the guy just can't really work off a script, I think he would have worked so much better in the Attitude Era.
I agree.
I think at this point, they're already filtering in bullet. I mean, bullet points has already kind of always existed, but at this point, there was way more scripting going on.
Can you imagine The Rock and Steiner?
Yeah.
A promo in like 98 or something? 99?
I just think that's why he didn't work. I think you can clearly see that he's dumbed down.
Aye.
Like, because, see his debut at Survivor Series, I enjoyed it, but he said, like, the one line. I think if this is 4 years previous... Or,
okay, so he's ratting for 20 minutes?
Yeah.
That Ric Flair, that flabby, bastard, that old fucking bastard. I love Scott Steiner, but I tell you what, one of the best Raws we've seen in a very long time, and I'm going to get an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, so I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 too. Michaels, great. Steiner, great. It's exactly, Batista even great as well. Devon returning, great. Just getting new people. I think Raw capitalises with new people. I feel like SmackDown drops the ball.
And I think Victoria's doing well with her current run. Good to see a fresh female as well, because for a long, long time it felt like it was Trish, Molly Holly every single week. And some of the matches were good, especially some of the intergender matches they had, but it's just nice to see a fresh face in that women's division. So yeah, overall for me, good Raw, guys. 8 out of 10. Looking forward to seeing SmackDown. Can it beat this? I'm going to say no.
No, it's not.
Well, it's a big no.
Whoa.
Anyway, we'll find out. Catch you in the next one. Till then, though, peace.